everyone, and welcome to the PlayStation Tournament's Road to EVO 2024 event for Street Fighter 6 for Middle East and North Africa. I am the Skilled Roy, joined here today by Vicious. How you doing today, man?
Man, very excited. I saw what you guys were throwing down yesterday for Tekken 8, switching it over gears to Street Fighter 6. I'm super excited, first and foremost, that it's back and we're giving another chance for some of these players to make it out to one of the most prestigious events that is EVO.
Yeah, EVO is an absolutely fantastic event. You guys haven't been there, please make sure you find a way to get it there this year. It's going to be absolutely incredible. But for now, let's see who's competing for that Road to EVO and getting that big grand prize. We got Tahul, we got IMADS, Demonicious, Fruit, and Punisher. 5 players today for this region.
And it's kind of crazy too. I know a lot of these players have been really grinding it out in their respective regions and whatnot. There are a few familiar names, and I was actually kind of snooping around some of the Twitter handles as well to see like how and kind of gauge how much of Street Fighter 6 they've been playing. They're actually pretty good.
Okay, sweet.
And a little bit of the downtime too. So interestingly enough, seeing the current bracket as it is, there's so many opportunities for you to like continue on playing. Actually, this kind of took me by surprise in general that like how easy it is to actually access some of these tournaments over at compete.playstation.com. But again, seeing some of these cats also return from the previous years also brings a really big smile to my face to see returning names.
Yeah, they're going to be back and better than ever. But let's talk about the prize pool. Obviously, in first place, $300 USD plus that EVO travel package. That's hotel and flight all the way to EVO, and you get to compete there as well. Absolutely incredible first prize. But then don't worry, second, third, fourth, fifth through eighth, all getting more money as well. And it's going to be a fantastic prize for just about anyone who's participating today.
Not bad. I mean, you're participating for free, right? And you get to face off against players that are also in your region to kind of like scout out the competition for the future. I think that's like a win-win already.
Yeah, it's a pretty fantastic deal, I gotta say. So honestly, I'm pretty excited because, as you sort of said, some of these players are actually quite good. Obviously, we had some Glossy tournament experience for some of these players, and they actually got a wide range of characters too. I looked into like their character mains. I don't think we have any repeats whatsoever, so we'll be seeing a great variety here.
And this is something that we're starting to see like more and more often, right? We have like a Ryu, Blanca, Cammy, Akuma, and Luke, right? I think out of those 5, only 2 of those are really kind of like in the upper echelon in regards to like what you would see at tournaments. Cammy, I say, is like right in the middle because Cammy, I feel like it takes a lot to pilot her well against some of the higher tier characters. Then we see Ryu and Akuma. Obviously, Akuma being like not even that old right now, right? Barely coming out. Ryu reintroduced into the game, essentially, right? With the buffs that he had received. But also, if the secondaries ever come out, I actually am more interested in that list as well, just in case. But I doubt we'll see it. I mean, secondaries, we don't really get to see it too often unless it's like a big counter pick, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, and realistically, I think most of our first section of characters there are pretty good. But let's take a look at the first matchup. We got Luke versus Akuma, iMads versus Demonicious. We kind of talked about it earlier, but Demonicious, obviously, who else are you going to play but Akuma in that situation?
Dude, I went to his Twitter. He had like the sickest art stick. But I'll tell you what, before we get into that, Imad El Zain, right? 28 years old, coming in from Lebanon, at Imad Zain _ is his social. He's going to be playing with Luke, and that's a character that we kind of talked about even beforehand, where Luke had received a lot of the nerfs, but still a very competent character. Then switching over to Demonicious, Arif Al-Banay, coming in at 27 years old from the UAE at the Demonicious. This guy, by the way, yo, he has a pretty sick hitbox. His hitbox has like Berserk artwork all over it, and it meshes really well with like Akuma, like just the theme of Akuma. It looks so clean.
If you're gonna name yourself Demonicious, you gotta rep the whole aesthetic, you know? You gotta do everything about it. So I respect that. I respect that a lot. Hopefully we get to see him do some really great moves as well in the match we're about to see here as the players get loaded in. But yeah, I'm actually quite interested in this. Obviously, technically a bit of a fresh matchup. Obviously, Shoto versus Shoto is always an interesting skill-based one, but I'm curious how it's going to handle, especially with Akuma being so new.
And I'm glad you mentioned Luke being a Shoto. I think that's really, really cool too, because he's essentially the new Shoto, right? He has like the complete kit of like a fireball, an uppercut. He has forward advancing moves that could possibly get you through a fireball. Granted, you have to do the OD version, but no, I think this is a very interesting matchup. I think overall, you know, Luke, we talked about him still being the complete package, and then you kind of have to tread carefully with someone like Akuma, albeit being brand new, very similar kind of like ways of thinking where you have so many different routes, so many different like ways to choose your offense, but you have to pick it carefully, because if you mess up with like what 9,000 health, you are mad fragile. You will blow up, right? And Luke
especially against Luke. Luke's damage output at times can get absolutely ridiculous. I know they've tried their best to shave off some of the more spiky damage he has sometimes, but level 3 off of some charge knuckle combos will probably obliterate Akuma from like 75 health, 75% or higher.
Yeah, I think one of the first things I saw on Twitter as soon as Akuma was released was like, hey, I could do a 2-touch challenge way easier with Luke. So seeing that happen is actually kind of funny. But we did get word that Demonicious might be switching it up, and it's not even with a character that he listed on his survey. This guy, listen, he's competitive minded. I like this. I don't know if we'll say who just yet, but I'll let the gameplay kind of show it.
Yeah, I'm curious if we see who we think we're seeing here, and it could be pretty interesting. We'll see how the matchup sort of shifts in that perspective, because I think as we wait for the players to get in here, obviously Luke, great all-arounder across the cast, obviously consistently strong, and I think maybe perhaps some of the concern there is perhaps it can match some of Akuma's toolkit too reliably, perhaps. Perhaps get in positions where you feel like I'm paying my health here to only have a slight edge. It might not be worth it. So we'll have to see what ends up working out here for him as we wait here for the players to get in.
Yeah. And that makes sense. Granted, we are still waiting on some of the players. If Akuma does come into play, we had a little bit of a hint that maybe not, at least for game number 1. One of the biggest things that kind of separate Akuma from like the rest of the Shotos is, I think, his versatility both on the ground and in the air, right? On top of his damage output. I didn't expect his damage output to be as high as it is, which is foolish on my part because in history, right, every time that Akuma was introduced, he was very, very strong, right? Super Turbo literally killed the boss in front of you.
Yeah.
In the Alpha series, hidden character, also really messed up in Alpha 1 and Alpha 2. In Alpha 3, he was also one of the top characters. In Street, I'm going through the list already. Even in like Street Fighter 3, second, I guess Double Impact, that's what it was.
Yeah, I believe so.
He was untouchable.
Yeah,
this guy was actually glitched up the wazoo. He was crazy. He was absolutely crazy. And we're seeing it, in 4 or 5, and here we are in 6. It's the same thing, the same type of reasoning, which I don't mind it because those characters the players that can navigate him well will find explosive success. And it's very difficult to, granted, but very, very high potential with this character.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're talking about Akuma's legacy here in a lot of respects too. Obviously, everyone loves Akuma, generally speaking. Obviously, Capcom certainly loves Akuma. He has 6 supers in Street Fighter 6, technically speaking, if you count his secret supers too.
That's correct, yeah.
Very, very, very funny character. I really am excited to see how this sort of shakes out here between everything. We'll see if we get any demons. Demons, of course, the new demon animation looks absolutely incredible. So I'd love to see it in this game, especially out of the Drive Rush, the classic we've been seeing on Twitter all over.
Yeah. I love the animation for Drive Rush too. It's how the Grinch Stole Christmas type vibes for me, right? As soon as he creeps into the window. But no, let me tell you, man, when Tasty Steve and I first saw the animations for Demons, because we had to do the voice line for it, I was thinking to myself, this is actually the most insane version of the Demon, because majority of the time, the POV, you don't see anything. Lights are out. You only see the flash at the end. Then little by little, Capcom's like, we're going to show you little previews of what's going on in the mind of the demon, or at least like the POV from at least the fighter or the demon, right? But seeing it fully fledged out like this, I was actually going insane. Yeah,
and the best place to watch these supers especially is on the big screen, of course, at the EVO Arena. This year it's going to be 1 ticket for everything. 1 ticket gets you into the show floor, gets you all into the arena. And this time, all 8 featured games are actually going to be in the arena this time, which is going to be absolutely incredible. If you haven't been there during a grand finals or during a hype announcement, I remember I was there for BB Tag, and the stadium went crazy when that game first got announced. So trust me, you're going to want to be there. Get your 1 ticket for everything this year for EVO 2024.
And a big reminder, the registration does close at the end of this month, specifically June 24th. Again, be sure to register now, because this is a pretty much once-in-a-lifetime opportunity if you get yourself into that big stage, the top 8. But even also being able to catch some of the most hype moments with everybody in the crowd, that is something that you only get to experience live at the EVO show floor.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. And not to mention, obviously, also lots of game demos, lots of great upcoming games usually showcased there as well. Obviously, 2XKO, big game that's coming out in the near future, was showcased there for 2 years now, I believe. Absolutely fantastic. So definitely want to make sure you check it out if you're any fan of fighting games whatsoever.
Man, I can't tell you the amount of fighting games that were present over at EVO Japan as well, just previews of them. We got the Hunter x Hunter game coming out in Impact, Garo, City of the Wolves Part 2 coming out. Actually, no, that's just City of the Wolves, not Part 2, excuse me, but Garo 2 essentially. And then 2XKO, man, it's such a good time to be a fighting game fan, Roy. Let me tell you, it is going to be absolutely bonkers towards the next couple of years, man. We're going to be pressing buttons until we're old, I think. I don't know how old you are, but I'll tell you what, man. Until we're pretty much seniors, I think.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. I'm 28, and I got to live through a lot of like the newer gen stuff, which was fantastic. But honestly, like playing back even from 4 era, I did not expect things to get this good this quickly. Honestly, I was like, oh man, this is so great. I love Fei Long. This is such a fun time, man. And then it sort of just grew up from there, and I'm like, wow. I love Jamie now, and I'm playing all these characters going through things consistently, and I'm just like, what a fantastic time. I can't wait for things to keep going. And obviously, just recently, the Season 2 DLC got announced for Street Fighter 6. All-star roster, basically, of fan favorites, not just from Street Fighter, but also from the Fatal Fury series. We got Terry and Mai, absolutely fantastic guest character choices. I think the first time we've had third-party guest characters, too, actually.
That is correct. Yeah, the history of Capcom games, right, excluding like the crossover games that actually include the other titles, is the first time we've ever had a real big like crossover. I think the closest to it that we had was maybe in Street Fighter V with the rival schools, but that's like still in company. But seeing this, it shows a lot of promise, right? It shows a lot of like potential of what could be in the future. Now all we need is an actual Tekken character to be in our roster. That would actually be pretty cool, right? That would actually that would be like the cherry on top to see like SNK, Tekken, and Capcom under the same like kind of game. We did it once already from the Tekken perspective.
Yeah.
But I want to see it from like the Street Fighter perspective now. You know what I'm saying? But again,
absolutely.
The addition of Tekken and Mai, it's so welcome. I actually didn't even know about Mai. I really didn't. Like,
oh wow.
Yeah, I only knew about like Bison and Terry. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. And I tell them all the time, I was like, keep it a surprise. Don't give me the spoilers. So that was actually a really welcome surprise.
Yeah, and such a cool moment too. Obviously, Elena was the final character too, and she's a character who was a bit infamous in 4, but was well loved in 3. So we'll see how she gets translated over to 6. Because honestly, the glow up for so many characters, especially from that 4 era to 6, that when they skip through 5 was usually pretty fantastic. But in the meantime, though, let's talk about what's else going to be coming up for the Road to Evo event. We are not the only tournament. There's going to be a bunch more coming up here. We actually have the Guilty Gear Strive North America Finals coming out on the June 15th at 5 p.m. PDT. Right after that, we got Tekken 8 North America Finals, Sunday, June 16th. And then we got King of Fighters 15 North America, June 22nd. And again, another Street Fighter 6, June 23rd, North America Finals. All these at 5 p.m. PDT.
Really excited about that too. Showing a lot of love for the NA region, because a lot of this weekend actually has been like across the pond, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think also like MK1 is also going down with Jammers too. So again, like a lot of action, a lot of love for the fighting games right now.
Yeah, it's always fantastic to see how well we're being supported here at PlayStation Tournaments, thankfully. Oh, it looks like we got a chat poll here with iMads and Demonicious. 93% on Demonicious. That is a hell of a gamble there. Wow.
That's a lot of points. Whatever is on the line, that's a lot of points. And I kind of looked again when I do my due diligence on some of these players. I kind of just go straight to their Twitter to see what they're about. And Demonicious seems to be that guy. He just might be the one to be like, I might take this whole thing. All right, we're loading back in. Okay, Demonicious, this is the switch that we were talking about, switching over to JP.
Yeah, and notably, actually, it's not just any Luke, but it's actually modern Luke, a bit of the poster boy for the modern inputs with how powerful the quick inputs tend to be. Just throw into the corner here. Huge punish counter.
It's such an awkward moment to challenge that with a throw. So you see JP walking back. Not enough in the tank to stop the drive impact from coming out, but it's Imad's actually dropping the combo. Take notice, he's got Modern Luke on as well. He could have gone for the auto combo just a little bit sooner. Oh, that was a little bit awkward timing too from Demonicious.
Oh, they do a bit of a scramble to jump over each other. Pixel of health, and the wild DP does whiff there. Unfortunate.
Listen, if it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, you're going to have to pay for it the next round. Demonicious getting a big jump in to start himself off.
Oh no, the portal detonates and pushes him out.
Oh, we'll take that auto combo.
Push him into the corner here. Take some air to air.
A little bit rough. This is where the throws can get dicey, right? If you're a Luke, you're kind of enforcing that point. Oh, Demonicious actually tried to parry it. Mistimed the DI. There is the counter. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you can see the setup here too. Portal already there. Fantastic optimization of this combo. Drops the last hit, but that was fantastic up to then. Gets teleport, gets a side swap. Lots of drive impacts coming in here for iMads. Hopefully
I know what Demonicious is doing. Yeah, he was backing away, just trying to force the error from Imad. Now, again, there was a level 3 from Demonicious in that last sequence that he had. As soon as you get your player, your opponent into like the yellow area, you're pretty much allowed to let the level 3 rip. And that definitely would have killed. So Demonicious, he's kind of flexing a little bit.
Yeah, he didn't need it. So we'll see how Demonicious handles the next round here. But it looks like the switch to JP has been already quite powerful for him. And we're getting right into the next match.
Damn, I'm loving the pickups too.
Yeah, cool. Fantastic juggles across the board. Really well optimized. You can see a lot of patience coming in here as well. Sets another portal. Keeps him pinned down.
Yeah, Mods is just looking real lost in the forest right now. All the purple stuff that he could imagine, his thirst is quenched going into the next round too. A perfect from the side of Demonicious. Mods, again, just not familiar with the routes that have been taken. The prediction on the fireball is so clean again. Yo, Demonicious might be sitting on a double perfect.
Oh, no, just barely moved with the pickup there, but puts him back to the corner. This is big. Should be it here. Let's see how it goes.
The scaling doesn't even matter. Yo, a double perfect with a level 2 to finish it off. Demonicious, looking as demon as ever. Without Akuma, by the way, that's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, I have to wonder if they also played JP as well on the side before Akuma came out. I know they listed that they played a lot of Marisa, but this could be the other character they had in mind. Oh man, using the double portal there with the teleport to cover the approach.
Yeah, OD teleport's gonna be pretty a pretty sizable feat to kind of deal up against on defense if you're not ready for it, if you haven't seen it before. But Imad, again, trying to deal with one and the Phantoms coming out is so difficult. Wasn't ready, even if you went through with all of that with the target combo, or at least the modern combo, it wouldn't have been enough hits.
We're seeing portal loops in the corner here, absolutely crazy, but not enough drive gauge left to use drive impact back. All right, Imad's fighting out of the corner here, but gets caught on the low there and gets KO'd.
You saw an attempt 2 for the Amnesia coming in from Demonicious. Not too much for him to worry about. I think he just has to tread with his offense, just the way he's been doing it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. The classic too. Yeah, you're gonna be heavily punishing that uppercut. At this point, Demonicious, he's recognizing the big errors, and he's making it hurt very much so. Level 3 on deck, doesn't even need it. He just has to go on through with the drive rush. It looked like training mode for Demonicious.
Yeah, that was 3 perfects across the set there. Absolutely dominant performance. Great stuff, considering this wasn't even the Akuma that he apparently wanted to play in the first place. So honestly, fantastic work, and hopefully Imad gets to run back in the lower bracket.
That's always the hope and the dream, to be honest with you. Imad's, again, showing off the modern Luke, just not up to speed in regards to what JP can do, but I feel like there was potential for his own offense. So maybe if he gets that opening with another player and kind of figures out what he needs to do on offense to keep that consistent, then maybe he'll get a couple of rounds over. But with somebody like Demonicious on the bracket, it's tough, man. What if you run into him again and you have to go through it all over? Let's take a look at like how much pressure that Demonicious actually applied in the corner, right?
Yeah, across the game in every single moment, the EX portal setups, the constant pressure with the low ghosts to keep them pinned down while the portal is cooking on top of them. Honestly, basically no way to escape unless you know what you're doing. Needed to maybe throw out some more parries, maybe needed to get a more of a risky like EX run forward with Luke to try to run through some of these projectiles. It's tough to say exactly what he could have done better, but it seems like a matchup and experience was definitely the one thing that came to mind here.
Yeah, even if you are antsy to kind of like press buttons, I totally understand it from like a newer to like amateur perspective. Like you kind of want to try to take your turn back forcibly. I mean, like letting the OD uppercut rip, sure, it may not be like the healthiest thing to do, but every so often, like if you think your opponent is very confident in their offense, then showing that card wouldn't be too bad of a decision, right? Like within the context of the conversation of that fight, I think having that OD uppercut in response would have been just fine.
Yeah, because the existence of it alone makes them have to respect you more. It means they can't just keep setting stuff up on top of you, because until you show them that you're willing to do it, they're just going to assume you're not going to do it. And at that point, you're going to get suffocated by all these projectiles and portal Oki setups, you know? So unfortunate there, but great work so far by Demonicious. I think next we have our next match in just a moment here. Blanka versus Cammy, Fruit versus Punisher. This should be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, this is gonna be kind of wild. I think for the most part, Abdullah Fruit actually is he's got the follows from the birds, man. He might be that guy, especially picking Blanka coming in from the UAE, then switching it up. Punisher. Abdul Rahman coming in from Saudi Arabia at FGC Punisher. A name that I am not completely familiar with, but I am familiar with that Cammy. And again, a lot of the Cammy specialists, most of the time, they are pretty fast defensive gunners.
Yeah, and usually the type of players I find that really get attracted to Cammy as a character generally have pretty strong fundamentals. So I'm really excited to see how this sort of shakes out here. Because strong Cammies, especially at like higher levels of play, can be absolutely incredible with how fantastic that their whiff punishing is, their grab game especially, the secret fifth grappler of Street Fighter 6 at times. Overall, a fantastic time for Cammy in general.
Yeah, this is all gonna come down to real big matchup knowledge, I feel like, because Blanka has a lot of escape tools in regards to what he can do on defense, right? Granted, one of the big tools that he had was Air Blanka Ball, and it did get significantly nerfed. I'm glad the OD version is no longer as belligerent as before. But for the most part, right, I think, if you're able to navigate around what Blanka can do on his defense, I think Cammy should be just fine because she's just as deadly, right? She can still do things mid-air to kind of avoid the strike grab situation too. If you get a solid read on the grab, at least, she does have options for an OD uppercut to also talk about that respect game we talked earlier about. But yeah, I'm actually kind of curious to see it. I want to see what it is that Fruit can do with this character and what Punisher has in mind for Cammy, because this is something that a lot of players haven't really been paying attention to as much. The spotlight's been more on Blanka than it has been on Cammy.
Absolutely. And we're going to see right here as we enter the first match. Oh, wow. Incredible movement right off the bat. Oh,
Yeah.
Misses it. Unfortunate. Here we go. Nice solid combo, though, pushing right to the corner.
Very expensive one at that. Yeah, Fruit opted to jump immediately after that initial hit on Wake Up, too, because of that meaty that was blocked. Only because the drive gauge was low, right? That hop is so ambiguous. Punisher actually blocked the first sequence of that, too.
Yeah, really fantastic there. Oh, missed the Air Blanka Ball. Here we go. Oh, fantastic anti-air.
That was at the toes. That was mad for the hitbox.
Oh,
Again,
no.
the sharp angles, and you're burnt out. Don't spend that level 1. Oh, he has to. Yeah, Cammy can spend the level 1, but Fruit can't do it.
Yeah, right to the corner here.
You still got that? Oh, you're
No
dead.
way.
Oh, you dropped it. Punisher, I was hoping to see maybe like a test of DI. Just raw to see if Fruit would do it. I think he would have lived off that raw.
Oh, sets up the doll. Nice, good punish, though. Brings him over to the corner. Oh, caught him mashing. Here we go. Another.
That was a counter hit. You saw Punisher get countered, by the way. That was mash on Wake Up from Cammy. Yes, sir. The Electric Beast.
Here we go.
Set up. Blanka-chan, what are you going to do about it? Hella damage. I like that. I like that a lot, too. And just in case, I love the pickup, right? Even if you didn't have like the OD in charge, you still had Blanka-chan to clean up the rest of it, just in case.
Yeah, absolutely. And this kind of shows you how powerful level 2 of Blanka is. Obviously a fantastic move in general, but it does so much to set up the contingencies as well. Hopefully Punisher can bring it back here after losing game 1. Had some really strong openings earlier here. Let's see what happens.
That's totally fine. Even after a blocked OD Blanka Ball, using that drive rush is not too bad of a tool to like close the gap. And also that air throw was so sick looking, by the way.
Yeah,
that's
very
very
clean.
seldom used.
Here we go. Solid combo. Push to the corner. Resets back to the neutral. Oh, bit of ambiguous choice there. Perhaps thought he could catch it in time. Cammy, one tiny bit of drive left, but keeping herself in so she can use an EX if she needs it. Nice anti-air.
Yeah, good coverage too. You can see Punisher well versed, at least in his offense. He backed away just a little bit to force that error from Fruit, but the burnout is there. Against Punisher, yeah, you can see she's trying to use movement as an option on defense now, but instead the counter hit. Level 1, Fruit was ready for it. More than enough damage to refilling his drive gauge, just in case, getting that parry going.
No, it was really a heads of play by Fruit too to push him into burnout, and so that it guaranteed the block pressure right after. Then you saw, of course, Punisher mashing on it as well. Level 2 again, here we go. Oh no.
That's fine, -6. He had to go through a different route. The damage may not have been as severe, but hey, look at this. The plus side is you got rid of most of the super art.
You did, but at the cost of burnout, and we saw how he handled it last time. Let's see what happens here. Activates the doll. Oh, great
good
pressure.
defense. Punisher, I like this defense a lot. You're about to get your drive gauge back too, while Fruit's on the back end. Yes, okay.
Yeah, considering how bad the situation was to start with, this is fantastic now. Oh no.
Drop, not like this. Yo, Fruit, come on in. That was the safest of jumps. Jesus.
Incredibly deep jumping right there. Oh,
that's
huge.
fine. So this is actually kind of scary. Fruit has 1 bar, almost 2 bars to his name. He gets full drive gauge back in the side switch from Punisher, trying to get tricky. Fruit actually had the good call out on the block too. That was crazy.
The hop through.
That spin knuckle, I thought was gonna be on the same side. It was actually so ambiguous to tell. Good defense from Fruit and good composure.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic stuff from both players here so far. And the second match became even closer, I think. So we'll see if there's something turns around here in game 3. Great
Talked
time.
about that heads-up play. Yo, Fruit has been mad aggressive. He hasn't even been showing that he's maintaining his charge for any sort of Blanca shenanigans, like the Blanca ball like that. He's been playing it out straight with the neutral.
Yeah, he's doing quite solidly here. Nice.
But he needs to know when his pressure is actually available. That's a great perfect parry against the slide and the roundhouse starter again. You have level 1 just in case if you wanted to use it. No, he's fine. Yes, I like this tactic of just saving onto the meter.
Yeah, you have a decent life lead. No need to spend it. Good stuff here. He gets to keep the bar going into round 2, and that, you know what that means? It means level 2 super in just a moment here. I'm sure we'll see him force the issue off of this moment as soon as he can here. Oh no.
What a punish on the dive kick for the trickery sequence. That was actually insane. Yeah, kill those frames a little bit. Force the error, force a little bit more of the trickery. Blanca-chan. Oh, that could have been so severe. Punisher opted to use the wake-up drive reversal.
Yeah, the new feature added this patch. Great stuff for him to use that option there, but oh no, burnt out entirely. It's so tough. What do you do in this situation? Goes for it, catches him pressing this time. Nice.
That was, you knew it was coming. Fruit
Yeah.
has been so adamant about that option. As soon as you see him holding down back, you know the up ball is coming. So very, very good recognition to use the OD version as well. Fruit taking it down 3 games straight against Punisher.
Yeah, an absolutely fantastic performance too. We saw some amazing level 2 combos, some level 2 setups, lots of fun trickery with the hop. Overall, really, really great stuff.
Yeah, overall, I love to see any sort of like Cammy kind of get their time in the limelight. But Blanca, again, it's going to be one of those characters that I feel like is still going to be as prevalent as they were in like the previous season. I think Blanca still has a lot of tricks up their sleeves. Even some of the top players are like, you know, I'm still going to be having a backup Blanca just in case.
Yeah, I think especially with how powerful that level 2 can really be in certain moments, it can be kind of like an X factor in a way to like really sort of jump scare people who aren't really ready for it. And especially when it comes to some of those setups, I'm sure everyone has seen hundreds of Blanca setups online. But here we go. Let's take a look at the match we just saw. Fruit had some insane combos throughout the entire day, but Punisher as well had some pretty solid combo games of their own. A couple moments felt like they actually might would have taken it. But here we see a level 2 combo setup for Fruit right into the corner again.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that Punisher wasn't really keen on was trying to play it out on defense just a little bit longer than he should have, right? I think, you know, holding down for a little bit is very intimidating against Blanca. We totally understand that. But there are certain moments where he would block the initial hit, then opt to go for movement. You didn't see counter hit, right? But he got hit raw. There are plenty of moments where, like, if you are in a negative situation and you're trying to jump out, your pre-jump frames will get caught, will get clipped, grounded. So you could tell that his options for defense revolved a lot around trying to be airborne with Cammy, which I get, right? We talked about OD cannon strike or the dive kick being one of the options to stop somebody from the strike throw mix-up. But what happens if somebody just chooses strike over and over and over and over again, right? That's exactly what you would encounter.
Yeah, and we kind of saw that especially when Cammy hit burnout as well. It was just Blanca constantly hitting with crouching medium into lightning consistently, and that was just like a constant chain where Cammy kept trying to mash out or jump out and just didn't really have an answer. And obviously sometimes the answer is don't be in burnout against Blanca, but sometimes it's rather impossible to do when he throws on level 2 and each ball takes out like half of it each bar each time, but yeah.
Easier said than done, man. Listen, Cammy can do the same way if she finds the correct offensive sequences, but that's just how the game rolls, man. But this is gonna be pretty sick. Tahul is coming out with the Lily, the game-breaking Lily, and I say that in quotes and mostly sarcasm. But this is the character that we had seen take down Combo Breaker this year, not too long ago. Taha Al-Lawati coming in, 38 years old from Muscat at Tahul. Yeah, so this cat has been around for a very, very long time in regards to the competitive scene. Demonish just coming back at it too from the winner's side. from his big 3-0 victory a little bit earlier against Imad Z specifically. But the JP, I wonder if that's going to be the actual pick against Lily or if he will switch it up. I think if there's any time to like pick the Akuma, I think now would be the perfect time, especially against someone like Lily.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of really great options you have here. I mean, obviously, I think JP is also still a fantastic choice in many options as well. But Lily does, unlike most of the grapplers, have a consistent way in against JP comparatively to, say, trying to play Zangief or Manon. So I think there is definitely an option here to go for the Akuma instead. But I'm curious to see how it goes overall. Obviously, Tahul obviously has a fantastic history in competitive, also in Street Fighter V as well. So well-storied player here too. So you can kind of at least respect at some level that like their Lily is not going to be just like one of the gimmicky one that just goes for the most obvious options here. You're going to be facing a pretty well-rounded one consistently. And we'll see what happens here as game one is underway. Oh, looks like
it's gonna be the Ryu. Yes, ordinary Karate Man Ryu. That's what I'm talking about. One of my favorites. This jump is gonna be severe. Look at the damage too. Off of 3 hits, this guy is a chonky boy. And the amnesia, you forgot I had these fists. Bam! Enter the dragon, baby. That's a perfect. Tahul, again, he went through what, like 4 different trial combos in one round.
Absolutely. He gets knocked down here. Let's see what happens. Oh, fake ghost. Walks up throw. Nice and clean. Drive rush, push to the corner. Solar Plex just short. Push back, Hadouken.
That solar plexus is now a war crime. It's plus how much now on block? Insane. It's actually insane. But hey, man, more power to him.
Yeah, you were talking about how they added Ryu, refreshed him. It almost felt like they added a new character with how strong he is between the 2 mini patch and the full patch. Fantastic, perfect parry.
But it didn't equate to anything, right? It wasn't in time to get like a punish counter because of the angle and the speed that Diminishus was coming in through. And keeping it close. I like that. May not have been a perfect response, but Diminishus, I like the rebuttal.
Yeah, here we go. One apiece here. Let's see who takes the first game. Nice. Fake Ghost and give him a second guess here. Easy jump in. Here we go. Nice. Gets pushed back to the corner one more time. Level 3. Should be either just enough to burn or just short of it, I think. Let's see here.
I was just about to ask. Yeah, I missed the initial burst, but this is going to be huge. I like that. Yo, pinning him down with the OD version of the spikes. Not the spikes, excuse me, the portals. That was really, really smart.
Yeah, really great play there. Oh, gets caught on the back end, but just overshoots the drive rush by a moment. Sets up the portal. Here we go. Time to make the mix-up. Drive gauge back on deck, though, and now it's his turn to be burnt out, but doesn't matter. Diminishus takes it. That takes the first game.
Man, nobody ever expects the good old overhead from JP, and that thing takes a while to wind up, man. He, like, stretches his back. He makes sure that he doesn't pull a muscle, then he drops his heel on you.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. And I think one part of it, obviously, JP usually fights at a range here, so you're not going to typically see him go for it, but that's exactly why it's so powerful sometimes. Great jump in.
Diminishus on Demon Time. Yo, he's taking some of these portals with Liberty. He has been either letting them off early to force the offense, or at least force the Tahul to stay still, or he'll teleport to your face. This guy's pretty offensive-handed.
Oh, reads the amnesia. Here we go. No counter hit on the overhead, so nothing to be done there. Wow, no, right to the corner with you here.
Set up the portal again.
Yep, great stuff. Using the parry to maintain the drive gauge as best you can.
And you see it, like Diminishus, he's trying to force out some of the drive gauge against the Tahul, hence why he has the fake ghost coming out more often. But yeah, good recognition to Tahul. Yeah, see? Man, his defense has been very, very sound as well. Speaking of Diminishus' offense, Tahul's defense and response been so on point. Good recognition of the fireballs, too.
Yeah, and Tahul, just like last time, takes the first game. Let's see if he can actually take the second as well. Oh. The classic JP zoning strategy here. Hard to win a fireball war against a character who has like 30.
And multiples at once at that. Diminishus actually did a great job of letting it snap in response to the fireball being ripped from Tahul. Very meaty donkey kick as well, but no, the side switch. The drop from Diminishus. That could have been game. You tried to do what now?
Oh.
Listen, Roy, that was all Tahul's fault.
Yeah.
Mashing buttons. There was a lot of counter hits on the screen. None of those were true combos, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw the combo counter.
Oh, fantastic block there. That was pretty ambiguous, actually. Here we go. Right to the corner one more time. Tahul needs to capture the third round here.
Oh, that's so much more of a better trade or better situation from Team Initius. Good block from Tahul. You got to take advantage of this corner, man.
Here we go. Push back one more time. Oh no, reads the Hadouken. Jumps in here. Here we go. Spike into level 3. That's gonna be it.
Is that a perfect? That's gotta be
It's
a perfect.
close, right? Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay, I was gonna say, is that a
Answer's
hood
back.
perfect? Couldn't even tell.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad at all. That's quite the sequence. You know, Tahul would be, if anybody who's really watching like the FGC stuff, Tahul would have been like the favorite to take it down, but Team Initius, who are you, man? Like that. I mean, I've seen your Twitter. I've seen you play a little bit, but man, you're taking down Tahul like he was nothing.
No, I trust Berserk fans implicitly, you know? So here we go. Let's see how it goes. Oh, double throw right to the corner. Gotta keep him pinned down here. I think that's what's happening every single time Tahul gets an advantage here. If he can keep him locked down, it's fantastic. Oh, empty low. Here we go.
Amnesia coming out, perhaps? No, he's still sticking to it. Even Initius, he tried to throw out the fireball. That is a classic trap. Tahul just waiting for it. That was a preemptive jump, by the way. That was let go and let God time for him.
Yeah, that was a timing check for sure. Ghost pushing him out. Stops the portal with the, fantastic use of the full screen Tatsu.
Wait, why did it connect like that? Why did it even juggle like that? That was crazy.
Oh no, Amnesia, here we go. It's the full combo, heavily scaled in comparison to usual.
Not as much meter build as well. Team Initius could have been sitting at level 3, but this is fine. Yo, Tahul is willing to sit this out, and he spent some of the fireball. He spent it with some of his life, but it's totally fine. Now he's out of the gray territory, no longer in burnout. He has full bars to his name. Demon Initius can't take another hit. I think if he throws out a drive impact and Demon Initius uses muscle memory, he might be dead. But even worse, he let it go anyway, the level 3.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was either a misinput or just a gamble or just perhaps just an unlucky situation there, but Tahul will take it. So now it's 2-1. Chance to make it back. It felt like Tahul found his footing a lot more in that one, especially. Ooh, fantastic perfect parry. This will bring him right to the corner here. Easy setup here. Let's see if we see those portal setups. Oh, fantastic shimmy.
Yeah, at the cost of a drop, the damage that could have been, it's totally fine, but he didn't get to really make the most of it. Again, we talked about how pivotal those OD Dragon Punches can be if your opponent is very offense heavy.
Ooh, I love that use of the Fate Ghost. Obviously, parry, you get locked in parry now if you on a whiff, so that used it perfectly. Oh, that was so ambiguous. And I think regardless there, the chip would have taken him out anyways.
Yeah, 1 spike, maybe 2. Who knows, either way. It was a chip indeed, actually.
It was a chip,
there was
yeah.
Big C on the side of there from Demon Initius. Throwing out the ghost again, trying to see if Tahul will bite the bait with the jump. The Amnesia's gonna be there.
And
Get the punish counter, get the juggle. No, awkward on the spacing too. At that angle, Demon Initius whiffing that roundhouse. That was actually pivotal, but he's recovered just fine.
nice anti-air. Here we go. Take him right to the corner. Uses the level 3. Let's go. Good
There's
chunk
one
of
thing that he's
damage.
consistent with. That is definitely the level 3s and also the anti-airs. You set up with a double portal right in front of Tahul. Good defense so far, but it's always the shimmy. It always has been, always will be. Demon Initius sending Tahul to the lower bracket with the tried and true, the shimmy over and over again.
Yeah, EX Portal into Shimmy is such a brutal situation for you in the corner. JP in particular is so strong at the wall. I don't know, sometimes it feels like you really have to gamble to even participate against him when he has the double portal up like that, and unfortunately came out behind this time.
And it's tough, man. When you have something that active, like you have 1 spike come out, the teleport from the other side, you have normals coming through as well. It's very difficult to call. But I will say, for the most part, where we saw Tahul shine just like that, it came off of very solid reads against the fireball, and also dishing up the damage when need be, especially with this guy. Like, letting the damage dump happen is so intimidating, because when you're at like, what, 30% health, you're thinking to yourself, like, man, I gotta get out of here quick. Let me do something drastic, like an OD Amnesia, and then get punished for it again.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, Tahul had some really great moments. We saw that full screen Tatsumaki, which was able to actually get through all the ghosts, but unfortunately came up a little bit short on the rest of it. I think a run back of this would be perfect between the two of them, so I'd be really excited to see that. But for now, looks like Demon Initius is coming out ahead and we'll be heading up to winners finals, I believe.
Yeah, and well deserved too. He's on a very, very high win streak, or was at least until this part of the replay. But again, like he's got the ideas down, right? He's got the fundamentals and the ideas down. So I think that's like in perfect harmony to where he's at currently in the bracket. And Fruit, speaking of which, actually taking down the way that he did against Punisher, I think this is going to be very, very exciting to see these two go at it in the winners finals.
Yeah, we have a fantastic tournament still ahead for us here. It's looking pretty competitive already between some of these matches. Obviously, Demonicious and Fruit can be a fantastic match, but then we have Punisher and IMADS down there as well. And I think those two didn't really get a chance to showcase everything that they were about just yet because their opponents were so powerful. And I'm kind of curious to see which one of them comes out ahead here because there's still lots of other stuff up here for grabs for prizing too. So I'm really excited to see what they managed to get up to.
Yeah, no matter what, you'll be going away with like money in your pocket. Not bad, again, for entering for free. I do want to see Imad's kind of change it up a little bit. He is using the Modern Luke. It does make it a little bit easier in regards to the execution levels and getting some of the damage out in certain instances. But I do want to see a little bit more of that fireball game come out a little bit. I do want to see a little bit more confidence in his defense rather than trying to go for regular dragon punches. Like, if you do let it rip, let it be OD. But we'll see that later down the line, hopefully sooner rather than later, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's going to be it for us just for now. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Street Fighter 6 action for Road to EVO 2024.
EVO 2024 is the biggest EVO ever. Publisher booths, art gallery, a bigger cosplay contest, the biggest EVO arcade ever, and the show floor is open for 3 days. More good news, your show floor ticket gets you into the all-new arena experience. This year, it's one ticket for everything, which is great because all 8 featured games will have the finals played on the main stage.
Your EVO champion, guys, give it up for...
Gaming is defined by moments.
It is intense.
The joy of victory and the thrill of overcoming challenges. Welcome to our home of competitive gaming, where we can all experience exciting esports moments
The final 1v1 of the game here.
and celebrate the pros and the rising stars,
I do want to see a female in the MCS.
bringing you guides and deep dives
Horizon can go up, but you can't go up fast.
and tournaments where the community competes.
Wait! Did he get? No way!
Whether you're in a heated match
Back, let's go.
or watching along at the edge of your seat,
A duo taking down a trio!
let's create moments from the games you love.
They'll take it.
Join us and subscribe to our channel to follow everything esports on PlayStation.
PlayStation.
welcome back to the PlayStation Tournament's Road to EVO 2024 event for Street Fighter 6. I am the Skilled Roy, joined here again by Vicious. How you doing today, man?
You know, I'm big chillin'. We saw some of the matches already. It lived up to the hype. It lived up to the expectations, and I'm ready for more.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited. And honestly, these guys are all playing for their trip to EVO, the biggest, most prestigious fighting game tournament in the world. It's gonna be absolutely fantastic. But if you want your way there, you can go ahead and grab your ticket for EVO. Registration closes on June 24th. This year, it's one ticket for everything. So you get into all the arena, all of the show floor, all of it's open full time, all 3 days. It's gonna be a fantastic time, to say the least.
Thank God, because it's going to be something you guys do not want to miss. Again, you get to experience everything all at the same time. We saw how big of an expo it was last year, right? Now it's more into like the tournament scene again, where it's like you're able to like lock in from wherever you're at in the arena. But anyways, I digress. Let's take a look at the brackets before I talk everything EVO. And speaking of, we're getting those players down to our almost top 4 to see who will come out as our champion. But Punisher versus Imads is something that we were looking forward to, right? Punisher with the Cammy play. We saw a little bit of a mishap earlier in the replays too, missing that early dive kick to try to catch the Blanca player off guard. But again, maintaining that charge was tough. Imads Z, on the other hand, again, with the modern Luke, we talked about this a little bit before the break, right? I would love to see a little bit more from multiple sides of Imad, right? Playing this modern Luke, you will have access to like some of the combos much easier. But like, again, trying to show off some of the uppercuts as well with the OD version is not too bad of an idea either. I just want to see that switch up and see if it happens.
Yeah, no, me too. I think there's a lot that can be done here, especially because both of them, we got to see a little bit of them in their previous match, but I think this time around, we'll see how much they can sort of work together on, so to work against each other here when it comes to facing a new opponent who's perhaps maybe not as foreign of a matchup. I think we had Blanca and we had JP, two traditionally very tough matchups for people to sort of wrap their heads around. But in the meantime, though, let's see, chat. What do you guys think? Who do you think is going to win this one? I think it's a pretty tough call between the two of them. And look, it's actually quite even here, 60-40 for Imads.
And that's actually probably the closest you'll get in regards to a lot of the polls here, right? It's been pretty evenly matched. But looking at it again, Punisher, he showed a lot of competency also with that Cammy play. He had some of the combos done. A couple of mishaps, I will blame it on timing, but at least his routing was correct, right? In regards to what he was supposed to do, especially leading into like level 1s and whatnot. He's very conscious of his meter, his super art as well. I think that's one thing that's really something. And then his air approach also is a pretty significant deal, right? If you're able to maneuver in the air as Cammy effectively, that's going to cause a lot of problems for your opponents.
Yeah, I completely agree. That being said, we are also facing modern Luke, which means that his anti-air game is going to be really, really snappy. His fireball is going to be very, very snappy. Level 1s in particular, it can get really, really tough sometimes to fight a modern player who is on top of their game. But here we go. Let's go ahead and see here as we get into the game number 1.
I always find it funny that she still has that smile. If you just hold right, she just smiles at you like, come on, man. Like, I don't even know you like that. Good reactions, too. You know what's really sick? Throwing out the button first to get that little bit of extra damage from the drive impact.
Yeah, it feels great, especially land like a nice heavy or you have enough time on it, depending on your character being able to cancel. Another drive impact. We saw Imads do this quite a bit previously. Oh, let it rip, but it was just short.
There's a time and place for everything. A good old Professor Oak had told me before. But again, having the OD uppercuts in your arsenal, not a bad thing, but you have to understand the context of when to use it, right? Primarily on your wake up, or at least within a block string, would be the most opportune time. And I like that fierce, just letting it ring out, Imads. Good timing.
Yeah, why not? Oh, doesn't get the anti-air this time. Gets the knockdown with the light burn knuckle. Oh. Ooh. Big call out.
That was kind of sick, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
The raw flash knuckle as a footsie tool, that was kind of cool.
Here we go. Pushing right to the corner with this. We saw him have some great routes before. Yeah, into level 3. Fantastic work.
Yeah, Imad, there was a moment where like maybe he recognized the air approach coming in and maybe thought he could anti-air with the fireball, which I get. Like I've seen even like pro players try to do that at a moment's notice, like try to like anti-air with the fireball if they're too far out or he thinks they're too far out. But again, the uppercut would suffice in that range 9 times out of 10.
All right, here we go. Game 2. Let's see how this goes. Oh, another DP. I have to wonder if this might be a misinput. I was like trying to step forward and throw a fireball, perhaps. That's my only wondering there.
I'd imagine so, but it makes me like believe the opposite when it's modern. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to go through like the full motion anymore. Speaking of full motions, Punisher, is he gonna spend? Yeah, I was gonna say, I think he could just uppercut. I wasn't too sure because of the scaling, to be fair, but I'm glad the uppercut was just enough. Oh, that is a fat jump in too.
Fantastic. Use the dive kick, creates right to the wall, kills some frames, but gets pushed out anyways with throw. Not too bad. Oh, nice job pressing, but oh, went for a sweep instead.
The classic. Even more so. Why not throw out the sweep? I appreciate that. Punisher says, you know, I'm going to show you this level 2 instead. Dang. Is that the animated movie? It is.
It is indeed.
Cammy wins.
Another fantastic match there by Punisher. I was going to mention this earlier. Punisher actually had some pretty good rounds against the Blanca originally, but it was kind of got smothered out. But I think this time around, able to find their footing a bit more here.
Yeah, there's a lot to say when it comes to like facing off against Lux. It's a character that is a must-know in regards to some matchups. Cammy also technically in that same category, but you see Lux way more often than you do Cammy's.
Absolutely. Not to mention, I feel like Luke's tools are so strong that you kind of absolutely have to have some sort of answers available. Ooh, incredibly deep dive kick right into the corner here. Fantastic combo. Sets up. Oh, wow.
That was kind of slick.
Yeah, that looked like a safe jump hooligan setup. That was sick.
It would have been meaty enough for sure, but like, yeah, I think either way, Punisher still getting the perfect, mind you. That was actually a big surprise. I thought he had taken a hit prior.
Yeah,
a big jump in again.
Nice.
From the drive reversal, right?
Drive reversal, yeah, exactly. Sets up with a meaty. Good stuff. Throw. Here we go. Cammy, grappler, my favorite. Let's go. Oh, gets counter thrown this time. Probably went for a shimmy, but misjudged the distance. Oh, no.
Oh, that could be more than enough. Just spend the rest of it. Yes, sir. Build yourself a level 3 if need be. The assassination is a success. The Punisher getting it 3 games to 0 against Imad Z.
I love this that win screen there on the keyframe there. It looks absolutely incredible.
I feel like she has one of the more violent level 3s, right? Like Aki's up there as well. Let's not talk about Akuma, that's obvious. But yo, Cammy's got a really, really violent level 3 and critical art at that.
Yeah, so another one up there as well is Jamie. Jamie's critical art goes kind of crazy too. That was pretty wild.
Snaps your neck. Right, you see the knuckle formation right on the apple. Oh, man, it's just whap. It's nasty. It's so disgusting.
Yeah, absolutely. But fantastic work there by Punisher, doing some fantastic combos, consistently strong performance there. Probably one of our big favorites to make it out of lower bracket here. So I'm kind of curious to see where they go with it next.
Yeah, no doubt. Punisher having a very, very clean set of games, also 3-0 in contrast to what he had experienced over on the upper side. But again, a lot of potential here too from Imad Z. I will say, like, if he's listening, I do highly encourage that he continue on with Luke, modern Luke, just understanding a lot more of the context of the battle of what's going on. But overall, taking a look at it, majority of the time, it's been Punisher's game, right?
Yeah, exactly. You see, that was another example there of the attempt to anti-air the jump with the fireball, but gets blown up for it instead. We talked a lot before the match even started about how important the air approach was going to be, and we were kind of exactly right with it, with how fantastic the jump-ins were by Punisher were consistently. That
Just
fireball
like that.
comes out, yeah.
That was a very, very deep dive kick. Very good call out too from that as well, from your side, Roy. And then again, very similar, right? You see the replays, you see a very similar structure in regards to the combos. Well, that's just because Punisher had built up that level 3 very, very quickly. Cammy is a walking battery. She will build up that super art very, very quickly, and she will get that max damage more often than not. Seeing it, what, like 2-3 times over in a set is very uncommon, I think.
Yeah, her damage output and her ability to just sort of pressure and get into these favorable combos that let her get this level 3 consistently is very, very easy for her. So that was really great work by Punisher to consistently land these over and over again. But honestly, I'm really excited to see where he goes next, because next I think we got the lower bracket finals coming up soon. Oh, we got the upper bracket first, my apologies.
Upper bracket, yeah.
Demonicious versus Fruit. These two both put on a great display in their respective matches. I think it was a pretty dominant performance by each of them. So now we'll see who manages to come up between the two of them now.
This is going to be kind of wild, actually, with the way that Fruit is playing, also with his setups level 2 into Blanca-chan. Actually, I'm kind of curious to see what Demonicious is going to do on defense. He hasn't been pressed at all, I feel like, defensively in regards to his former matchups, right? No disrespect to them, but I wanted to see like how somebody would traverse against an Amnesia other than like a Shimmy. I want to see how somebody reacts to what happens to two portals coming out too as well. So we'll see how that goes out. But instead, I kind of want to hear what the crowd has said, what the chat has been saying in regards to who's taking it. Demonicious, 67% over Fruit with 33. I see.
Not bad, not bad. Honestly, that's closer than I thought it was going to be too. I know JP has a strong contingent of hate, generally speaking, against him. So I kind of figured everyone's like, oh, he's going to win every time just he's JP. But in general, though, I think this is a pretty close breakdown. 67 to 33 is not too bad indeed.
Yeah, it's funny. The discourse goes in cycles, right? JP had the brunt of it during season 1, like the first half of season 1. I say it was like Manon and JP. Funny, Manon, right? To say that.
Manon, yeah.
And then in season 1.5 to 2, it was all like the Blanca discourse of like, hey, just block, man. And it's like a mix-up that has you like going across the screen, blocking left or right at the same time, and then parrying
back and
like,
forth.
Come on, man! Like, what do you mean just block? I can't do that. Like, I'm not even gonna come close to saying I know how to do it, right? I don't know. The discourse was very, very funny.
Very, very funny indeed. But now we get the two characters, the center of them, JP versus Blanca. This will be an interesting match, to say the least. Obviously, lots of options here to get past the fireballs. You got Blanca Ball to get in if you need to. Great stuff.
Even the slide. Yeah, the down forward slide also is a pretty big deal. And that's a big counterpoke tool. The back heavy punch has a very deceptive hitbox around it. And if it catches as a punish counter, it could lead to a lot. But even so, on counter hit or just regular hit, the way that it sits down people is so important. That was actually so deceptive. Fruit was sick with it for that.
Absolutely. Getting put into the corner here. Sets up the doll. This is one of the really scary things against. I think even Amnesia is going to be difficult to handle against this. Level 1, just barely alive.
Yeah, that was essentially a checkmate. Fruit could have gone into anything, right? Like a short to a block string or even to like a DI. It would force Demonicious to throw out a level 1, but he wasn't going to risk it anyway at the verge of death.
Yeah, there's no point indeed. So Demonicious trying to create some more space here. Uses those teleports. He loves using those to his advantage. Push back here. Oh, got caught. Went for the parry.
Oh, no! Hey, listen, man. I teched. I also teched.
I teched. I absolutely teched.
I 100% mashed on those buttons, and Demonicious took full advantage of that. Fruit, okay, there we go. Slide. And act. Listen, man. He's so on point with what Demonicious wants to do on defense.
Yeah, cancel level 2, make it safe. Here we go. Oh, no.
See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? He has been combating against the Amnesia full on. He has been committing to that option against the Amnesia, and it paid off tenfold. First game of Fruit.
Yeah, fantastic work so far. And there he is again, just scouting it out expertly each time, it feels like.
Yeah, at this point, stuck in that parry for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that was actually mad random. That roundhouse, being able to clip like that against Blanco, that was unheard of.
Yeah, I feel like my anti-airs never work like that. Here we go. Blanca takes it to the corner. Doll's down, but didn't get a chance to activate it. Doing his best to push it off screen.
Yeah, he has to back up just a little bit. Level 1 on deck for Fruit, by the way. Crouching medium punch. Serving all the tools in the neutral, by the way. There it is again. Being able to cancel, that could have been death. So catastrophic. Good pickup on the lights regardless. Checking Demonicious immediately after the parry that it whiffed. So slick from Fruit.
Yeah, doing really well. Fruit is doing a lot here. Level 2 to make it safe. Here we go. And there's the Amnesia. Oh, smart choice.
Get the level 2 out. But no, yeah, you can't do it out raw like that. So long as Fruit has drive gauge and he's that close.
Especially the level 2 setup.
Right. Damn.
What am I looking at? Let's go.
Yeah, Blanca-chan being able to pop you up just in range, also just enough height to get that drive impact.
Yeah, fantastic work there using the detonations of the Amnesia to his advantage and taking game number 1 here. Fruit seemingly on fire with how many answers he has to Amnesia.
I have a real question for you, Roy. How the heck is this guy a diamond?
Yeah, I
Only
have.
Diamond?
I'm choosing to imagine he hasn't got time to play. You know, like that has just been like one day's session because I have no explanation for how consistent this JP counter picks are. It's incredible.
I mean, the only other person I've seen like kind of do this before in the past was NuckleDu, where he had like a bronze ranked account for like the longest time. Capcom Cup champion, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
This is just trolling at its finest. Diamond player.
no.
I don't believe you for a second.
Not even a moment. Here we go. Push to the corner. Yeah, there's the delay of that parry change coming in right there.
Oh,
Big
that is a
overhand.
big trade.
Oh, another one. Just do it.
The Rock Smasher coming in full force. I thought that was going to be a big trade combo, but it wasn't. It was just Demonicious actually mashing a little bit. That was a counter hit multiple times over. I thought Fruit was going to give us like a fat highlight.
Yeah. Impractical Blanca coming in. All right, level 2. What you got?
What an excellent
Fantastic.
parry. That was so well timed. Demonicious 2 gets the side switch on top of that to enforce a level 2. This is going to be great. You could maybe force the burnout, but Fruit finds the gap. He threads the needle not only out of the corner, but also saves his drive gauge. That was so beautifully done.
Yeah, I can't believe he got out of there like a thief in the night, basically getting it through all of it. Oh, fantastic pause on the Amnesia. Here we go.
Oh, that was so deceptive. Back roundhouse, killing enough frames to get a counter hit on a throw, too, and a whiff throw at that.
We're seeing an anime combo here by Demonicious. Fantastic. Drive impact. Push to the corner. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, not a lot in the tank left for Demonicious at that point. Fruit just had to make it nice and easy when it came to the finisher. And that's the big green boy, man. That's how he rolls. Fruit actually making it all the way through. That was actually mad impressive.
Yeah, and you called it. A lot of this came down to having to challenge Demonicious a lot more on the defense. You saw just how powerful Blanca was at calling out the Amnesias and punishing them in so many different ways too. It was either just like a complete shimmy, it was setting up Blanca-chan, it was the air ball. Like there were so many different ways he sort of took advantage of it. And I think that was what really sort of worked out for him comparatively to his opponents.
Yeah, that was the scariest thing. We haven't seen those many routes on offense from the side of Fruit, so seeing it like later on, where even if your opponent was watching the stream, right, you would think to yourself, it's like, all right, well, it seems kind of like linear the way that he was playing. But this was a whole different side of him. He was throwing out different looks from overheads. He was throwing out different looks with the lights and also the drive rushes. It's been very layered offense, and that was the first time I think I've seen it from any competitor today. I think he's been like the sharpest tool on offense.
Yeah, this has been consistently powerful. You saw here the amount of pressure put in. I also want to call out his defense too against the level 2 JP in the corner, which still managed to find a way out while still keeping all of his drive gauge. Was absolutely incredible. And here we go with this really interesting drive impact combo. Fantastic work.
That is mad advanced, by the way. Listen, Blanca players should have that pickup too. Again, see, that exact moment, that could have been like a giant trade combo. I think the timing was just a little bit botched. But also, there are a couple highlights from Demonicious, right? That defensive play to use the perfect parry. Oh, this is the moment right here.
Yes, it is.
He used
Look
the parry
at this.
perfectly, the timing on the OD Blanca ball, and it crossed up, by the way. The little tag came out of nowhere that said cross up. He was actually a demon for that against Demonicious.
Yeah, absolutely incredible play there. Blanca is always such a wild card when it comes to it, but when a player has a good handle of the character, it seems absolutely crazy. But here to take a quick look at the bracket so far, we have Fruit waiting up there in the finals, and then Demonicious just knocked down to the lower finals down there. Right before then, though, we have Punisher versus Tahul, two players who both lost earlier today, but both seem really, really strong in their own capacities. Tahul, obviously the Ryu player, and Punisher, the Cammy player we just had earlier today.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting to see. I'm actually kind of curious to see whether or not Tahul would weather the storm because, again, he was going into it as one of the favorites, right? He's been here before, if I'm not mistaken, for Street Fighter V. And he's also been quite the competitor for the World Warrior Series. That's part of the Capcom Pro Tour. He's been very, very much so active for his region. And also kind of, I see him every so often on Twitter, like talking to the birds as well, talking to the other brethren over the UAE. So, again, very excited to see how this is going to play out.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic tournament, so don't go anywhere, guys. We'll have more Street Fighter 6 action for you here at Road to EVO 2024. I will see you guys next time.
PlayStation.
Evo 2024 is the biggest Evo ever. Publisher booths, art gallery, a bigger cosplay contest, the biggest Evo arcade ever, and the show floor is open for 3 days. More good news, your show floor ticket gets you into the all-new arena experience. This year, it's one ticket for everything, which is great because all 8 featured games will have the finals played on the main stage.
Your Evo champion, guys. Give it up for...
Gaming is defined by moments.
It is intense.
The joy of victory and the thrill of overcoming challenges. Welcome to our home of competitive gaming, where we can all experience exciting esports moments
The final 1v1 of the game here.
and celebrate the pros and the rising stars,
I do want to see a female in the NCS.
bringing you guides and deep dives
Horizon can go up, but she can't go up fast.
and tournaments where the community competes.
Wait! Did he get... No way!
Whether you're in a heated match
Bag, let's go.
or watching along at the edge of your seat,
A duo taking down a trio.
let's create moments from the games you love.
He'll take it.
Join us and subscribe to our channel to follow everything esports on PlayStation.
PlayStation.
everyone, and welcome back to PlayStation Tournament's Road to EVO 2024 for Street Fighter 6 for the Middle East and North Africa. My name is The Skilled Roy, joined here today by Vicious. We've had an incredible tournament so far, haven't we?
You know, it's been a little topsy-turvy, too, in regards to the winners' finals. If you guys had missed it thus far, I highly encourage you guys to check out the VODs, following along every single tournament that's been going through. You expect that exact caliber in every fighting game that PlayStation Tournaments covers as well, especially when it comes to the Road to EVO.
Yeah, always have fantastic matches here. And of course, the players here are competing for a all trips expense paid trip to EVO. But if you want your ticket to EVO, you can go ahead and grab one up till June 24th. This year, it's one ticket for everything. You can get your tickets to enter the arena, see all the featured games there, check out the show floor, which is open for all 3 days now. It's going to be probably one of the biggest EVOs ever, if any, honestly.
Scary enough, it keeps growing, I feel.
Yeah.
The scaling is going to be so hard to keep up with going forward, but I'm very proud of like the EVO staff, seeing them year after year after year. But Roy and I were just talking about this too. Like, again, being able to see everything all at once for 3 days straight is going to be a fun time. Again, evo.gg is where you need to go. And also, let's take a look at the bracket. This is where you need to go to keep up with who's on the winners are actually upper side. Let's take a look. Who made it all the way through into the grand finals thus far? It was Fruit, who happens to be a 1900 MR master on his alternate account. I see. I see.
Yeah.
On the other side, lower side, Demonicious. He's going to be waiting on the final side of that, waiting against his opponent between Punisher and Tahul.
Yeah, and that match in particular is going to be quite interesting. We got Cammy versus Ryu. Punisher and Tahul both had us a pretty good show of their abilities up to this point. Punisher came out off a win just recently, and Tahul was also doing quite well on the Ryu as well earlier today, we saw. So these two both have a lot going for them here, and I'm kind of curious to see who manages to make it to the lower finals.
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest interest to me as well. Like seeing a heavy-hitting character like Ryu getting insanely buffed for this season, going up against a character who's very hard to adjust historically. Like Cammy's kit has always been kind of like, if you mess with her too much, she won't be as like prominent. If you buff her up too much, then she's just going to be a menace. Like it's totally understandable with the way she operates, but again, very, very difficult to manage also just playing against this character. But I kind of wonder if the chat had the same idea, right? When we talked about hard to play against, they picked Punisher to take it all the way, 90%. So a lot of people in the chat are like, you know, maybe we had to have a talk, chat. Maybe I got to put a primer on how to beat Cammy someday. But again, a lot of folks, they think Cammy's going to take it.
No, this one is surprised me. I haven't seen one this skewed in a while, so you know what? I'll trust the chat on this one. Maybe the chat has insight I don't have here. 90% for this matchup could be fantastic. I mean, to be fair, we did just see Punisher come off a fantastic win just not too long ago against iMads' Luke. Did some really great stuff, had some fantastic combos, so maybe that's part of it too. You just saw them do really well. I could definitely understand that coming into this a bit hotter perhaps, so we'll have to see how this match goes as we get both players all set up here.
Very excited to see it again. I just want to see somebody melt between the two. The person that could do it more often than not is Ryu. Again, we talked about some of the big buffs that he's had. He's got access to damage way more so than he used to, and also there's a lot more in his pressure kit when it comes to stalking the fireballs. That's one of the biggest things that he had going into like the buffs changes. But also, we talked about the solar plexus. We haven't seen that used in neutral just yet. I think we've only seen it once thus far, but a lot of neutral jumps coming in from Tahul, which should be a big signifier that he's looking for Punisher to like maybe use Spin Knuckle in a moment where he's guessing for Fireball instead of reacting.
Yeah, exactly. The neutral jumps are really good against both Cannon Spike as well as the Spin Knuckle. There it is. Just pops out of it. Could have been a back throw, but went for the jab into Tatsumaki instead.
Oh,
nice.
So we're going for the sweep.
Ooh, it's called out entirely.
We'll take that. We'll take that as Punisher too.
Yeah, those are neutral hops. There you go.
He's doing it over and over again, right? That's got to be like the biggest hint. But the jump in, he's had so much success on some of these big jump ins, and majority of them have been punish counters. So we're starting to see like Punisher kind of adapt to that. He's not throwing as much on the ground game, which is a really big signifier for Tahul to get the double dash forward into throw. That was a good situational awareness moment for him.
Absolutely. It feels like right there, Punisher in particular was probably buffering level 3 in case there was a fireball, but Tahul was way too smart for that. Ooh, immediate dive kick. Here we go. Another dive kick, punish counter into the low. Oh no,
Welcome
it's
to
a
the
mix.
jungle, baby. What is
Oh
happening?
no.
The mixturization is way too powerful. A couple lights and a dab will do you. Look, listen, Punisher made it so ambiguous as to what he was gonna do. He intentionally dropped stuff to get reset on damage. I don't even know how to call that as a pro commentator. I'm like, yo, man, how many resets on resets are you gonna have?
Yeah, it felt crazy, especially with we saw earlier even, Punisher had some really cool hooligan meaty setups, so definitely has been practicing some of these counter hits coming in here. Tahul getting caught pressing. Oh no, wild, but no huge punch there, thankfully.
Not for too long at least, and he tried to delay jab. That OD dive kick does blow up the delay options.
Nice, stocks a fireball. Oh, the neutral hop this time on Punisher's side. Extremely low drive gauge, trying to fight it back here.
Again, a lot of the neutral jumps being played out from Tahul, but not getting a big opening. It's great to initiate your offense with and probably get like maybe like a frame trap going or even like tick the throw, but Punisher, he's been very adamant on what his options are on defense. He's just willing to just sit there and block. Tahul hasn't shown all the options yet.
No, this is really, really good from so far. Air to air. Solar plexus again, we didn't see it. Oh,
That was sick. What? He caught him mid-air with that? Like you don't really see Spin Knuckle catch somebody mid-air like that ever.
yeah, he just went for the follow-up as well, but did not manage to hit it, unfortunately, because of the weird hit, but it's still really cool.
You saw him buffering too. I can't even imagine when he was buffering. That could have been an uppercut against the dive kick.
Here we go. Level 3 on deck. We saw it a couple times before. Not gonna go for it here. Went for a mix-up. Thrown instead. Back to the
Saw
wall.
it. Trying to go for like a quick fall too to bait something out. That is actually so rough. The throw was just right in front of him. Tahul had the right idea. He was just too far out to actually get it to work. And when it comes down to it, yeah, Punisher, when he gets that level 3, and even off of a light, by the way, you're still able to dish out massive damage. To like, scaling or not, right? You're still going to be able to get your opponent down to the critical territory to get that level 3 kill.
Yeah, and obviously Punisher has had a wide variety of routes that have all been successful too. Definitely knows the combo game really, really well here. Getting to game 3 here. Nice anti-air.
Yeah, being ready for it again. But a neutral jump exposing Punisher once more.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. Probably not guessing he could do it this many times, but here we go. Full combo coming in here. There's that setup.
That's so tricky, man. We've seen that setup before in his CPT during season 1. I think Punk had utilized that first too. Punisher taking a page from the Forbidden Links, dude.
So low on both their drive gauges. Burns out to try to get closer, but get pushed into the wall. And you hate to see it. That's going to be a dizzy combo. And Tahul will take round number 1.
And that's something we haven't seen just yet. I like him showing off that card with the drive impact. Good awareness too, knowing full well that Punisher was not gonna have anything to defend against, right? There's no drive gauge. She had no super art. This is actually great. Yeah, the positioning is so important for Tahul as well. Bang!
There we go. Oh, drop the combo,
drop.
unfortunately.
This ain't 5. What are you doing? Can't be doing it that way. That's rough.
Unlucky, unlucky. Oh no.
Listen, there was a little bit of Street Fighter 2 in him for that one.
For sure, for sure. Gets the anti-air here. Punisher going in for their own drive impact this time, but since that was a true block string, it does not cause the dizzy. Back throw.
That's right. It will show up on the screen too. It will say lock. Just in case people are like, what the heck happened? Or are unsure visually. Yes, and I like that too, Punisher. So here's the tricky part. I don't know if that was like a preemptive jump short just to kind of catch the neutral jumps that Tahul has been doing, or if that was a missed input for dive kick. Genuinely. Either way, it worked out.
Could be either way. Standard anti-air there with the crouching heavy punch. Let's see what happens as Ryu. Oh, just in neutral. Throws it out. Even more aware. Solar plexus. There we go to see it this time. Ooh, it felt like he was buffering something but didn't get it out.
Again. That is definitely like a Valle-esque type of strategy. Very much so a classic. Oh, you baited him correctly. He wasn't ready though.
Baited it correctly too, and then lost the drive gauge for it too. That's terrible, and you can see it right here. Punisher now gets the full combo. with the drive impact, and now you're to the wall. One drive impact puts you into dizzy. You gotta be so careful here. You're gonna be jumping a lot, but doesn't matter. You're gonna keep getting eaten up by the other ones. Level 3, does that still connect even if that high? Yeah, it does.
100%,
Okay, good,
100%,
good.
and it's gonna kill. No real scaling involved either way. Snap. That's gonna be the kill. Punisher taking it down 3-0 again. The chat was right, 90%.
Yeah, you know what? Don't doubt chat, I guess. You know, they knew 90% of you were correct. Punisher will take it in a pretty dominant fashion. Really great stuff overall throughout the entire match there.
And I like that he wasn't afraid to take some of the big risks on the resets against a character like Ryu, right? Once you let him go from out of your sights, he can deal a lot of damage. We talked about that as the main highlighted tool from Ryu. But overall, I think his confidence on offense is what really took it over against Tahul. Despite some of the main strategies that were shown off from Tahul, right? Like the neutral jumps, I feel like weren't really stopping Punisher per se consistently, but it still was consistent enough to be like, man, when is Punisher gonna kind of adapt to this thoroughly, right?
Yeah, exactly. We saw a lot of these mix-ups in the corner here, using both Hooligan and the dive kick, as well as shimmies. Cammy's incredible walk speed coming into play many times as well. Absolutely fantastic play by Punisher throughout all of this as well. Consistent combos as well. Tahul unfortunately had a few drops as well that could have been in crucial moments. Although I did like the usage to start swapping things up and going for these drive impact. But there we go. That was one of the drops that could have really shifted the tide of the game here, considering that Cammy was literally a quarter of a drive meter left. So really unfortunate.
Yeah, there was a moment too where he utilized the solar plexus another time, actually got the block against Punisher, and opts to go for a normal that's a little bit slower, right? That doesn't really cause a true frame trap. Despite being in burnout, it doesn't really matter, right? Like, as long as you get that opponent to block, it's like, all right, well, you still get to take your turn, and you have needed to threaten the initiative. But him going for the low forward into the Hashogeki wasn't going to be like the best way to start your offense back, or at least to kind of stall for time to get some of your drive gauge back. But that's just how it goes. Tahul, I would love to see him a little bit more also in the future, because that is a name that I'm very familiar with. But Punisher, even more so, I'm glad to see that Cammy get pretty much all of the runbacks and the potential that he was looking forward to seeing. Now waiting in the losers or the lower finals, by the way. That's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, we were talking about earlier who's going to make the run through, and it seems like we have our answer here. Punisher's going to be going up against Demonicious. This is going to be another great match here. I'm really excited to see how this one rolls out here.
So we're talking about like the speedster versus the man who could control space and time, essentially.
Yeah.
There's a lot that can be said in regards to like how the matchup can be played. Cammy can definitely ease her way past the projectiles. Just to keep it simple, right? She could ease her way past projectiles with the spin knuckle if called correctly. Even if blocked, it is still going to be a little bit problematic on the receiving end. If that's going to be too much to deal with on the ground, well, guess what? Cammy can traverse it easily with either a hooligan to dive kick or just a raw dive kick from a proper angle. Going to be very difficult for JP to consistently anti-air. So it begs the question, what is JP going to do before he has to really play defense to deter Cammy from moving forward, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of questions there, and it looks like chat is also kind of in belief of this too. Punisher 64% at the Demonicious is 36. Obviously not nearly as much of a swing as what we saw previously, but Punisher obviously coming off of a solid 2 back-to-back wins there, really looking pretty great on their Cammy. So we'll see how Demonicious handles it. Of course, it could be said, who knows, maybe this is a matchup that Demonicious is willing to swap to the Akuma for, or the Marisa apparently they also have. So it could be another option there as well. We'll see. Yep, no, they're staying on the JP.
Okay. Just for future reference, listen, man, all the players out there, whatever you guys put on the sheet, that's for us, baby. That's not for the opponents.
yeah. Don't worry. You don't have to lie. You don't have to lie. We're right with you guys.
Man's put us in the mix. Oh, by the way, did you see him snap his fingers against the dive kick?
Yeah.
His situational awareness has been so on point thus far. This is going to be excellent. You get yourself a perfect this early, you dirty dog. I didn't even know that.
He's trying to style on him. I thought it was enough too, but still takes it. Still a perfect first round. Perfect. Demonicious making a statement.
You know what's also terrifying about that? Getting the perfect. Also sitting on 2 bars. That was actually a very, very snappy decision to go for the crouching heavy punch anti-air.
Yeah,
he's
after
all
the changes.
over it.
Fantastic work here, right into the corner again. Fantastic combos. I see a level 2 in your future in just a moment here, maybe. Oh, nice dive kick. Finds their way in finally. Here we go. Punisher needs not let off the gas, but unfortunately gets caught. And that's going to be it.
he swung. That was a wild swing too off of the Fierce. Like that's something that you can just throw out there in neutral if need be. But it just so happened to clip Punisher and get a whiff punish too. That actually was mad demonic. If he had done that just right into the fireball, hit or block, there's plenty of time to like buffer or like buffer your level 3.
Ooh, touched his toes there with the dive kick into round 2 here. Sorry, game 2 here. Oh, jump back jab. Nice.
Classic.
Oh,
There's
there's
the
the
counter hit.
spin knuckle.
We talked about that before, right? Getting past some of the projectiles. This jump in that could have been huge if it was a dive kick, but not in time.
Nice, turns off the portal, but unfortunately drops the jump in anyways. Oh no. Mix up, here we go. Fantastic.
That only happens if you get caught standing up.
Yeah.
So I 100% flinched as well. I thought that would have been like the axe kick coming down because that hits overhead technically. So Demonicious was in a very, very hard spot to choose from. And punish counter, okay, that must have been that had to be a button.
Absolutely. Yep, using meaty setups here again. Spin knuckle, here we go, into the corner. Gets counter jabbed out, creates some space, good. Huge anti-air.
And what a sharp angle.
Using these fake ghosts. Trying to build some space. Kemi's so mobile though. Doesn't mind getting in, finding a way. Pushing to the corner, here we go. Level 2.
No, it's
no!
wrong. He had to do it early. Oh my god, he got to do it a little bit earlier than that. But thank the gods that be. Listen, man, that drive impact was the saving grace for Punisher as well.
Yeah, a bit of a scramble. Sometimes you gotta let it rip in those situations. 1-1, game 3. Here we go. Could be anyone's game still. Fantastic blocks. Not getting mixed up by the portals. Gets tapped by the stick though. Here we go. Jump over. Getting JP pushed to the corner here. Here we go. Right into the wall.
Good exposure on the low as well. Yo, he woke up with a roundhouse. My man woke up with violence. That wasn't even like anything anybody could read. Demonicious? No, that could have been maybe enough to possibly link, but
I did like his choice there to go for the side swap combo too, which was fantastic. Gets pushed out with the wake up drive reversal. Lots of good jump-ins here. Staying safe. Gets pushed back out. Oh, no, that's gonna be it with no drive gauge. Good luck.
yeah, you were forcing your opponent to get essentially chipped out too. And that, okay, deceptive crouching medium punch off of the drive rush. That was a very, very potent tool in season 1. They adjusted that hitbox, or hurtbox, I should say, thank God. But didn't really get the most out of that. Punisher now on the offensive, checking the amnesia once more. Level 2, grounded by the way.
Fantastic, just short of a drive burnout though. That's gonna be enough for Demon to start setting something up here. Jumps in with the teleport. Oh, gets tapped. Oh, there's no way you have to confirm.
What a pickup. It's not going to kill necessarily, but it leads to a full screen JP to set up for OD portal.
Yeah, it also gives him a lot of his drive gauge back. He was barely hanging on earlier. Now he's at a higher mount. There we go. There's the overhead, bringing that out. Demonicious has done that twice now to win sets. Fantastic. 2-1 for JP here.
The wickedness of throwing off the overhead in a moment where you can get interrupted into death. He knew that Punisher was going to be so reluctant to press buttons and be so under pressure to throw out that overhead. The audacity and the bravery really from Demonicious to throw that out there was so well done. And the damage too, man, his conversions have been so top notch.
Yeah, consistently landing every single thing he can from every single option he gets a moment of here. Great, perfect parry, punish, counter, burn some meter, gets the teleport in. Space each other out a bit more here. Fate ghosts. Good jump in by Punisher here. Here we go.
Opening up for the forward throw as well. Demonicious taking at the very last second, hence why they were so spread apart afterwards. That low forward could have been everything for Punisher, but instead he misses his opportunity and gets smoked by the rebuttal from Demonicious. Oh, the roundhouse. You see the wind coming in from underneath this guy's calf muscle? This is nuts. This guy's old, but he's quick-witted too. JP is actually kind of cool.
Yeah, he's kind of crazy.
He's kind of cool.
Fantastic play here so far by Demonicious. Another overhead. He's not scared to go for it. Almost gets another pickup with it as well. But a little too close to use that. Gets counter hit. Huge good choice with the Amnesia. But the slide kept going because it was the longer version.
That's actually kind of funny. That's actually kind of funny.
I've never seen that interaction.
Yeah. No shot. Oh, I didn't even think that would hit.
No, that was so smart.
The character moves up a notch when the activation happens. That's the thing. That's why it avoided the roundhouse. That was so sick.
Yeah, exactly. Level 3. We've seen it many times before. Fantastic confirms, as always, by Demonicious. And he will take this game 3.
All of that cool
Incredible.
stuff didn't even matter as soon as Demonicious got the hit and he had level 3 in stock. I'm like, all right, man. I was gonna let it rock. Like, you know, level 2 was pretty cool, avoiding the anti-air altogether. But then Demonicious is like, you know what's cooler? Winning. And he did it. I get it.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Oh man, Punisher, I really like the choice there though, constantly recognizing how on top of the anti-airs Demonicious was, so threw in the super to mix it up, because obviously typically Cammy's dive kicks, despite their change in trajectory, they typically go at the same speed, but the super has a different speed entirely, so that was a fantastic mix up there. Unfortunately didn't pay off in the end, but I really like the choice there completely.
Excellent work from both, more so I think from Demonicious keeping the tenacity going and also the mix-ups going on offense, exactly what we wanted to see. A couple of mishaps too, running into the big jump-ins that Punisher had in mind, but speaking of mix-ups, I think the hooligan mix-ups were so prominent in this matchup, and it was so difficult to even contest. Him not going to that well even more so towards the end was really kind of a tragedy too, and also him missing that level 2, a little bit of a mishap, but the saving grace with the DI was pretty important. But overall, Demonicious, his composure and landing some of the consistent damage, I think, is what spelled out the game for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you kind of see across this as well, we even saw some moments here where Punisher did get the baits on the Amnesia just like that. So they did some fantastic work there, but unfortunately came out a little short with how strong Demonicious anti-air game was. I think consistently that was one of the stories here, was either that was the portals to snag one of the dive kicks, or it was the roundhouses here that were just absolutely crazy. Fantastic work by both players, but Demonicious, there it is. There's the delay of the super to get in on them at the end. But that's going to be the crouching heavy as well into level 3.
Immediately afterwards, the light was immediately shown on Demonicious. It's like, yeah, that was cool. That was real cute. That was a cute level 2. But what's that to my level 3? The way that he just sidesteps his own projectile too. This guy's on boss.
It's clean. It's clean. One of the best win pose animations too. What a fantastic character they made here. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Really excited to see like the future of JPs in general, like in terms of the story with more characters being added in to the lore, but also just the development of the character now that, you know, the nerfs are going to be more frequent, or sorry, nerfs and busts are going to be more frequent now that like Nakayama-san had mentioned that over in one of the interviews. But overall, again, a lot of the JP mains, they're still thriving, man. I mean, like even after the nerfs, I mean, what at Evo Japan, he got second place, right? So still a pretty strong character.
Yeah, many times, unless the character gets completely reworked, if a character was insanely good, some nerfs are not going to be enough to like push them down all the way, because they got so many tools, especially in the case of JP. He has many fantastic tools, and he's so versatile too, and which is so awesome because he allows you to play the matchup in your own sort of style too. Demonicious in particular doesn't really play a more of a zoner-centric JP. You can see him going for a lot more mix-ups. I don't see many JPs going for the drive rush overheads, and that was a fantastic choice there too. So really respect his work here so far.
Yeah. As few and far between that you see those overheads, it's good to exercise that option more often than not, I think. So yeah, that was a really good point that you put out there in regards to Demonicious' JP. But he's going up against a different beast. Well, technically not, because this is a run back.
Yeah, right? This is a run back. We saw it a couple times earlier. Fruit navigated expertly around Amnesia, and that was one of the big hallmarks of the previous set. Not to mention Fruit threading the needle at one point through a level 2 of JP, surviving it with the drive gauge intact. Absolutely incredible play so far. So between these two, I'm really excited to see how this match next match goes, because this is going to be a fun run back for sure.
What a beast, figuratively and literally. That was actually the sickest play. Like even at this level, I'm thinking to myself, like that's actually one of the sickest things you can do against a level 2. And chat also is a believer of Fruit. right? Being able to navigate your way with Blanca just like that too. We kind of hype him up a little bit, right? We were talking about 1900 MR master ranked Blanca, but Demonicious, man, he's been looking so terrifying right out the gate that I think it'll be a lot closer than you expect in comparison to the polls.
Yeah, and honestly, it also goes to say a little bit about the tournament structure too, right? Demonicious just came off of a win, feeling pretty good, did really solid, feels pretty warm. Fruit's been waiting up there for a little while, so hopefully hasn't gone too cold on anything and hasn't forgotten how strong Demonicious was in that first match, because some of those rounds were a lot closer than we probably want to give him credit for. So we'll probably have to see how they shake out this time around.
Yeah. Two different aspects of pressure for both players, right? You're looking at where it is on the tournament structure for Fruit. He's waiting on the winners or the upper side, right? So technically, if he wins just 1 3 out of 5 set, he is your champion. Demonicious, he's the one that is tasked with having to reset the bracket first. Let's see if he can pull it off.
Yeah, here we go. Getting into it. Full screen Blanca Ball managed to find their way in. Fruit, with only a sliver of drive gauge left here, looking for a setup, uses the Blanca Ball to go for an empty low. Baits out the Amnesia perfectly. Here we go. Goes for the doll. Oh no. Bit of a trade there, but really great mix up there.
I didn't realize with the animation, the cane hits Blanca right in the jaw. That's actually kind of sick. Good conversion too. That was a counter hit, by the way, off the low medium kick. Forced to block. And also checking the movement. That was very smart. Tapping with the lights, but still very important against Fruit. Amnesia call out against the OD Blanca Ball. Very slick, because again, that drive gauge is now about to be fully depleted.
Yep, there it is. Loses the drive impact too. Meanwhile, Demonicious over there with a full stick. Let's see what he does with it though. Oh, Fruit's not gonna give him the chance. Going into level 2, hoping to pressure him out of it entirely. But Demonicious finds a couple jabs out. Fantastic.
What a button choice. That was a big call out against the level 2. Really smart against the fast fall.
Yeah, level 2's almost out too. Another one, here we go. Using that shimmy strategy again. Doesn't mount to anything this time though. But watch that, level 3, level 1 on deck, I was about to say, but actually it's just barely enough. Here we go.
Could do it again if you wanted to. Watch out for the possible DI.
Oh, chose to get hit by the doll, I think there.
No way. Oh, you have enough for level 1.
You have enough for level 1. No way. Oh no.
He dropped.
It's so close. Next hit could be anything here.
You could chip him out too. You could, if you could set up level 2, you could chip out proper.
There it is, you're right. Fantastic work by Demonicious there, recognizing it, pinning him down with the spike before going for level 2. Oh no. Huge start for Demonicious.
And you cheeky guy, you went for the OD reset for the command grab? That was hella damage.
Yeah, incredible damage. Most people kind of resign themselves after a perfect parry, thinking it's on the over after that. Oh no, delayed the ball just by a bit, so the Amnesia whiffs. Fantastic level 1 choice, pushes them off the doll here too. Nice. Get off screen. Good work. Set to the portal.
And he gets the side switch. Oh, this is so good for Demonicious, but Fruit actually gets himself a side switch at a DI, but level 1 he was ready for it. He was churning that butter since yesterday.
Yep, here we go. Using the spikes, using the portals. Jump in. Drive back. Fantastic choice. Only a sliver left, somehow massively calculated. Amnesia into the throw. Wow.
That was a huge couple of rebuttals from Demonicious. I thought Fruit would have had it, but a little overzealous too. There were a couple of moments where we'll talk about, maybe it'll get highlighted, where he chose to DI, but we'll talk about it later. The overhead sneaking in again past the guard.
Great, perfect parry. Get the back throw, punish counter, into the corner. Look at Demonicious' drive bar. That's extremely dangerous here. You have to build it back up. A quarter of it left. Chooses to get hit, maybe?
Yes. He tried to jump, right? He tried to like maybe get like a side switch and anticipate something else, but also getting hit was not the worst thing in the world because he got to maintain his drive up until this point. The DI, how much damage can you get? Oh, you could set yourself up for level 2 instead.
Yeah,
are you gonna let the beast rock?
Here we go. Probably gonna look for it in just a moment here. Drive impact. Should be enough. That's gonna be it. Fantastic work by Fruit, taking the first round.
I lied to you all. You know, Demonicious maybe thought a level 2 was gonna happen as well, or maybe he just wanted to hold on to his meter. against another DI. But Fruit now finding his opening, gets to set up the doll immediately after this.
Yeah, we got the ball. Here we go. Great work into the throw. You love to see it. Another setup. Oh no. Amnesia's choice was good. Gets the side swap, but the doll is still there. Tries to get to it in time, but it's just getting kept out by JP holding the left side. Fantastic level 1.
Call out to that low medium punch. I couldn't tell you if that was like a buffer or if it was him calling out the drive rush, because that could have been like a mix of both. Maybe he could have like
Really
gone out there
could.
preemptively.
All right, back to 1-1 here. Ooh, nice airball
Jesus.
combos. Let's go.
It looks so clean. This character's so fun to watch, man.
Yeah, Blanca is a party and a half. Push to the wall. Fantastic use of the perfect parry. Unfortunately, hit him out of the air, so it got a bit of an awkward angle. Amnesia. Get the side swap. Hold down the block. Does not have a punish ready, though. -6. Ooh, I love that low to connect it here.
Oh, OG ball again. Plus the side switch hop. Man, Fruit coming in with the trickery yet again to initiate game 3.
Here we go. Space each other out a bit here. Oh no, gets caught summoning the portals. Nice, using the delayed frames of the parry to get the throw. Oh, baited that perfectly. Was not happy about getting hit with those multiple times. Pushed to the corner and burned out.
You see him holding north immediately
Yeah.
upon wake up, but as soon as he settles down, Fruit recognizes it. You are very much so on your way to a second game. Yeah, he had level 2 just in case if need be, but again, with that much life to spare, with the positioning as well, Fruit looking at pretty much almost taking it down 2-1 to Demonicious. Against
Yeah, I really like the
Demonicious.
choices there too to use Drive Impact to push him to the corner instead. But here we go into game 4.
OG
Nice.
Ball, the big criminal. You trying to kick the ghost, young man? That's crazy.
Nice, catches the parry whiff. Only a fraction of drive left. Yeah,
Ooh.
recognizes it perfectly. Here we go.
That hit raw, by the way. That wasn't a counter hit. That wasn't a punish counter. That was just straight up.
Gets the full setup here. Here we go. Put him on Twitter.
That's 1900 if I ever seen it.
For sure.
You gotta hold this too. Now while in burnout, it's gonna be a little bit tricky, and he tried to get out of it. He tried to dance his way out, and you missed your opportunity for a big, big extension. And either way, if you think about it, if Demonicious had not gone through with his combo, drop or not, or go for DI, Demonicious would have ate that level 1, because Fruit was 100% churning.
Absolutely. Huge overhead. Amnesia coming in this time. Back throw activates one of them. Here we go. Oh no,
Yes, sir.
airball just short, but pops, I think.
Good link off the overhead as well. Set up the portal. Yeah, you have to keep them honest too. You let the portal out there just in case they decide to Blanca Ball, then you punish accordingly. But Fruit was 2 steps ahead, getting himself into the Electric Beast mode again.
Yeah, watch out. This level 2 is so dangerous. So much shenanigans can be underway in just a moment. Kind of just waiting it back. Does not want to engage with him while he still has it up. And it's off deck now. Here's your chance.
This is not going to be enough damage. I don't think. Yeah, even so, he dropped the combo. And it's OD Ball once again.
Oh, slide through. That should be an easy level 1. And Fruit will take it, winning the Road to Evo Middle East tournament. And he is your champion, taking the full trip to Evo. Fantastic work by Fruit.
Abdullah from Dubai at Fruit_UAE, your champion for the Road to Evo 2024. Very much so looking forward to seeing that Blanca run amok against the rest of the competition. Very, very cool to see Blanca's taken down in that fashion. I'm very, very happy to see Fruit also taking it down undefeated, essentially, coming in from the upper side.
Yeah, absolutely incredible play across the day. We've seen so many setups too. When it comes to Blanca, it's not just being unpredictable, it's having so many options that are consistently strong. You have the level 2 is obvious one, but look at how many times the Amnesia was baited, all the setups from it too, constantly choosing even some suboptimal routes purely just to burn the meter, and that's where it's coming into really a lot of play. We saw a lot of Demonicious becoming busy, and that was a lot from really good choices of where to use your drive impacts from Fruit.
Yeah, really conscious effort to kind of utilize that drive impact without being in fear of the super art, right? It's really, like, you could be in fear of it, but it's really up to the opponent to utilize it, right? We saw it, it did show off on defense from Demonicious, but like how often was he able to even get that response out, right? Like, it's, somebody could have like an OD uppercut, but it's up to the opponent to actually find the gap to use it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think another big part of it too is that Fruit at one point even baited it here. You saw actually baited the level 1, knowing how low the drive gauge was going to be, used the drive impact to push him to the corner, and then right after that there was another stagger as well. So really fantastic work by Fruit throughout this entire tournament. Yeah. Demonicious had a great match too, but unfortunately sometimes Blanca can just get in on you and run amok, and it's really, really tough to find an option. Here we saw the full setup here for optimal damage. Fantastic work by Fruit.
I thought that was pretty amazing. Again, we talked about some of the big drops that Demonicious had earlier on, one of them being this level 2, and then immediately succumbing to the OD Blanca ball. And everybody eventually succumbs to the mix, exactly how Fruit was able to take it. And he was in a very good opportunity too. Demonicious with both burnout and 0 bars. Like, no matter what you decided to do, like if you didn't get the hit, you still would have been able to chip away little by little and slowly force your way to get a DI into the corner, because he was looking pretty close to it. But Fruit, great recognition and overall great performance, and also that hit confirmed towards the end, beautifully done. Well deserved as your champion for our PlayStation Tournament's Road to EVO for Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, it was an absolutely incredible set of tournament here. It just absolutely amazing matches every single step of the way. I love Fruit, I love Demonicious, love Punisher, love everyone who participated. Just a fantastic, fantastic series of matches.
Yeah, and overall, you guys don't want to miss everything that's been going down with PlayStation Tournaments. Again, big loves to PlayStation for giving us a chance to in the FGC. Like, they've been doing this for years now, so it's really cool to see them also bringing back to the community and also giving like a big chance to those overseas to come to EVO in Las Vegas, right? So speaking of which, again, they've been hitting so many other different games. Let's take a look exactly when those are happening. It's going to be a lot of love for the NA regions as you see the Guilty Gear Strive NA Finals happening Saturday, June 15th at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Sunday on June 16th, right afterwards, is going to be Tekken 8 NA Finals. You don't want to miss it, same time all across the board. Then following week after that, Saturday, June 22nd, King of Fighters 15 for North America, rounded off by Street Fighter 6 on Sunday, June 23rd, all again at 5 p.m. Pacific time for North America.
Yeah, and honestly, that's going to be another amazing set of matches as well. North America, also very famously, incredibly fun region. Lots of great Street Fighter players there as well. Can't wait to see that one as well. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And of course, guys, if you guys want to check out more fighting game content, more stuff, Road to EVO and everything is coming up to the actual EVO tournament coming out soon. So make sure you guys go check that as well. But I think that's going to be it for us. Thank you, everyone, so much for watching. I've been the Skilled Roy, joined here today by Vicious. Thank you, everyone, so much for watching. Peace.
Asuka wins.